Avro Lancaster, The Spirit of British Air Power, UK 2025. Part 1. Origins of a Legend. The story of the Avro Lancaster begins in the shadow of a world at war. Developed by Avro and Company, the Lancaster evolved from a failed twin-engine bomber known as the Manchester. That aircraft suffered from underpowered and unreliable engines, but engineers, most notably Roy Chadwick, transformed its design. They added 2 more Rolls-Royce Merlin engines and modified the airframe, creating what would become one of the most formidable heavy bombers of the Second World War. First flown in 1941 and entering service in 1942, the Avro Lancaster quickly earned a reputation for toughness, payload capacity, and reliability. At a time when strategic bombing became central to Allied war strategy, the Lancaster stood out for its ability to carry heavy loads over long distances. It could haul up to 14,000 pounds of bombs, and in special missions, like the one using the Grand Slam bomb, it delivered payloads up to 22,000 pounds. The aircraft was a marvel of engineering for its time. It featured a wingspan of over 102 feet, a maximum speed of 280 miles per hour, and a crew of 7, pilot, flight engineer, navigator, bomb wireless operator, and 2 gunners. Its 4-engine layout gave it not only redundancy in the case of damage but also extended range, making it ideal for deep penetration raids into enemy territory. In total, over 7,300 Lancasters were built, the majority by Avro in the UK, but others were manufactured under license in Canada. It flew over 150,000 sorties during the war, dropping more than 600,000 tons of bombs. Part 2. The Lancaster at War. The Lancaster's operational history reads like a chronicle of the RAF's most daring missions. It was the aircraft of choice for night raids over Germany, where its accuracy and ruggedness were critical. Unlike American daylight bombers, British Lancasters relied on nighttime stealth and electronic navigation aids to reach their targets and return safely. Perhaps the most iconic mission was Operation Chastise in May 1943, the legendary Dambusters raid. Specially modified Lancasters from 617 Squadron, led by Wing Commander Guy Gibson, attacked German dams using Barnes-Wallis revolutionary bouncing bomb. The mission struck a psychological and strategic blow to the German war machine, flooding the Ruhr Valley's industrial heartland. Lancasters also played key roles in attacks on B-weapon sites, battleship raids like that on the Tirpitz in Norway, and support for ground forces during D-Day and beyond. Their capacity to carry precision weapons like the Tallboy and Grand Slam allowed them to destroy hardened targets, including U-boat pens and railway tunnels, previously thought invulnerable. Despite its achievements, the Lancaster's missions were costly. Nearly 3,300 aircraft were lost in combat, and tens of thousands of airmen gave their lives. But their bravery and sacrifice remain integral to the story of Britain's fight for freedom. Part 3. Post-war service and preservation. After 1945, the Lancaster continued serving in various roles. It was used by the Royal Air Force into the 1950s for reconnaissance, maritime patrol, and transport. It also saw action in lesser-known post-war conflicts, such as in the Malayan Emergency, where it was used for bombing insurgent positions in dense jungle terrain. Some Lancasters were sold or transferred to Commonwealth Air Forces, Canada, Australia, and France among them, extending their legacy across the globe. Eventually, as jet technology advanced and newer bombers like the Avro Lincoln and the V-bombers emerged, the Lancaster was retired from frontline service. In the decades since, the aircraft has become a symbol of national pride and remembrance. Today, in 2025, only 2 Avro Lancasters remain airworthy, one operated by the RAF's Battle of Britain Memorial Flight in the UK, and the other by the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum. These aircraft fly at commemorative events, stirring emotions in crowds young and old. Thousands of people visit preserved Lancasters in museums around the world. In the UK, the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre, Imperial War Museum Duxford, and RAF Museum Cosford House complete or partial examples. These museums keep the Lancaster's story alive, offering immersive experiences and tributes to the men who flew them. Part 4. The Lancaster's Legacy in the UK Today 2025. In 2025, the Avro Lancaster holds a powerful place in British culture and history. Its name is taught in schools, commemorated in ceremonies, and featured in media. The 80th anniversary of the end of World War II was marked with a series of flypasts and documentaries in which the Lancaster played a central role. The aircraft represents more than a machine, it symbolizes resilience, sacrifice, and innovation. Technological studies of the Lancasters' engineering continue to influence historical aviation restoration and conservation techniques. Universities and heritage engineers use its design as a case study in aerodynamics, metallurgy, and wartime manufacturing. Furthermore, augmented and virtual reality experiences now allow people to fly the Lancaster in stunning detail, making history accessible to new generations. In Lincolnshire, once home to dozens of wartime airbases, communities maintain memorials and heritage trails dedicated to the Bomber County legacy. Schools run educational programs, and local economies benefit from aviation tourism. Pilots, engineers, and historians work to ensure that the voices of those who flew and maintained the Lancaster are never forgotten. As the UK navigates new global challenges in 2025, the Avro Lancaster remains a steadfast reminder of unity in crisis, technological ingenuity, and the human cost of war. It teaches that history, when preserved with respect and clarity, can inspire the future.